Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of Season 3 of Fight Your Rival. I'm still Natal.
And I'm still Mike, and it feels great to be back.
It does, it really does. It really does.
It's a new year, new season, and we're trying a lot of new things. First of which you're going to see right now. We're actually dividing the show up into segments.
Yep.
Getting a little more professional.
Keeping it clean for them.
Keeping it very clean, a little esports if you will.
Yep.
So obviously, we always cover news here at Fight Your Rival, and that's going to bring us to our first segment, The Rushdown.
The Rushdown.
Okay guys, so this is The Rushdown, your weekly dose of FGC news, and obviously the biggest piece of news in the community right now is Street Fighter X Tekken 2013. If you haven't heard about it by now, the game is updated, a lot of things are fixed, a lot has changed. If you own the game for Xbox or PS3, just fire it up and you'll get the update for free. I really hope that the FGC really embraces it. I mean, last year Street Fighter X Tekken was plagued with so many problems, and I really hope this year the FGC, realizes that Capcom is trying their best to actually make the game worthy to be played at tournaments. So guys out there, really give it a chance. There's punches, there's kicks, there's life meters, there's specials, there's time. There's dive kicks.
There's definitely dive kicks. And if that game has dive kicks, it definitely created the game Dive Kick. If you guys remember, the first time Dive Kick was shown to the FGC was at UFGT8. And they were thinking and toying with the idea of actually releasing the game, but now they actually got enough funding to release it. They partnered up with GGPO.
Yes,
and
Iron Galaxy.
And Iron Galaxy, the guys who bring you your Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition, Darkstalkers Resurrection. Basically, all the 2D games that Capcom wants to make money off of, they give it to them, and then we buy them. And
cycle continues.
Yeah, cycle continues, so let's thank them for that. And not only that, but not only is it coming out for the PC, it's also coming out for the PS3 and the PlayStation Vita.
Yes.
The only thing I'm a little worried about, there is no Xbox release.
Yeah, as a 360 only player, I'm a little upset about that, but I'm glad the game's getting a console release. Maybe something will change down the line if it sells, so if you have a PS3 or a PC, buy it. And
if you guys are wondering what's the point of buying a game that just has 2 buttons, dive and kick, the best thing is they're actually adding a story mode into the game.
Yes, which is incredible.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Yeah, and I'm sure, they showed off some really cool hidden characters at UFGT8, so I'm sure the actual final game is going to be littered with them.
Oh, totally.
So I'm very excited. Speaking of single-player adventures, the demo for Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance just hit the Xbox Live Marketplace and PlayStation Network.
I love that name, Revengeance. It makes no sense.
It's fantastic. And if you guys don't know, it's basically a more action-heavy Metal Gear game focused on Raiden, who now looks like a badass cyborg ninja. It's pretty fun. It's made by Platinum Games. Guys have made Bayonetta, so lots of sword-heavy combat. Has a really cool blade mode. Lets you cut people up in really fun ways. Love it.
I'm actually excited because this will actually be the first Metal Gear I actually play, because I don't like sneaking around and hiding in boxes and seeing giant exclamation points popping on people's heads. So finally Konami got my attention in a Metal Gear. So I'm actually going to play this one, and I'm happy that Raiden's missing the bottom half of his jaw.
Yes,
I don't know what happened.
He looks very cool.
He does. He looks epic as hell. And if you guys are wondering why we're mentioning Raiden and Metal Gear Solid Revengeance, don't forget that Raiden was also in PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. Now, the cool thing about PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale, it's one of the contenders for the 8th spot for EVO 2013.
Yes. Yeah, they're doing, if you guys don't know by now, they're doing this massive donation drive. They basically made the 8th EVO game a player's choice, but rather than make it a simple vote that could easily be tarnished, actually every vote has to be paid for, and all the money goes to breast cancer research.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great cause there, you raised like 50 grand. And as of now, today is the 29th. The last results I checked, Skullgirls is in the lead with like well over 20 grand.
That's awesome.
Which is incredible. Super Smash Bros. Melee is right behind it. Right behind that is My Little Pony fighting his magic, so very interesting results. We'll see what happens. The voting ends January 31st.
Yes.
So it might be over by the time you're watching this, but hopefully you took action beforehand, voted for your favorite game, and excited to see what happens.
And even, guys, even if your favorite game is all the way on the bottom, you could still just donate. It's for a great cause. It's for breast cancer. And keep donating, and let's hope that Fighting His Magic is not the 8th title in EVO. That would scare the living shit out of me if I had to watch that on
There would be a brony uprising.
There would be. I think there would be a lot of horse heads in the crowd, as opposed to last year.
Yeah, you thought last year was bad. It would be a very horse-heavy EVO. So we'll see. And speaking of EVO, the Road to EVO officially kicked off last week. SoCal Regionals 2013. One of the best tournaments I've ever watched.
Phenomenal.
The presentation was out of this world. Alex Valle and Level Up have really stepped their game up. I felt like I was watching ESPN the whole time. Transitions, the commentary. The only corny part was kind of the forced pregame interviews. Where the players have to kind of talk trash to each other before exhibitions.
Yeah, maybe they should have wrote some things down or practiced. Infant really didn't say much of anything. He's just kind of quiet and just staring at you. And CJ Showstopper went on a crazy rant for no reason against Viscount, but Viscount said the best thing ever. He just looked at him and said, yeah, I was EVO champion of 2011. What did you win?
Said like a true champion.
Yeah.
The thing that stood out the most about SCR was just the incredible production. And if you guys follow I Play Winner, their latest podcast, their latest episode of The Fray, they actually talked about the future of the FGC and how this is the year everyone really needs to step up. And it brought up a lot of interesting points. It really got me thinking. It really inspired me personally how, you know, this is the year where just being a player is not enough, or just doing one thing is not enough. Like, really make it in the fighting game community. You have to offer something special. Yeah.
If the FGC is going to step up as a whole, then we need to step up our show as a whole as well. So SCR was really an influence for us to really make sure that when we give you guys the news and everything else, it looked clean and tight. Now that we're done with the rushdown, we're gonna bring you guys our next segment where we do reviews of games. And here you go, guys. Get ready for the Judgment Zone. Judgment Zone. Since this is the first episode of Season 3, we decided to kind of pay montage to the first episode that we ever shot. And we're gonna do a quick early first impressions of the update to Street Fighter X Tekken.
Yes.
If you guys forgot what we look like, Season 1, Episode 1, just check this out real quick. Hey guys, welcome to Fight Your Rival. I'm Natal.
And I'm Mike.
And today we're going to go over some topics that are really stressing the fighting game community. The main one here is the game behind us, Street Fighter X Tekken. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, and we look a lot better.
I agree.
So does the game.
Yes.
So, Mike, you've got to play it for all but 15 minutes to an hour?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, how do you feel about the updates?
Well, personally, I love it. I mean, I've always liked the game, but I think this is just the update it needed. Especially, so many people got damage buffs, which I think is going to just quicken the pace of the game.
Yes.
The fact that throws take out red health is huge.
Yes.
Such a game changer. Pandora's a little more viable now. I think you get 10 seconds now. For the characters I play, I mean, you know I'm a longtime Guy fan. I've always struggled in AE and in Cross Tekken and even Final Fight when I was a little kid. But this Guy is finally, to me, the character he's supposed to be. I really love his buffs. He can jump cancel his chain combo into really, really cool high damage combos. I mean, I also play Jin. He got some nice things, and you know, balance-wise, they did a great job. I think the characters that needed buffs got buffs. Characters that needed nerfs got nerfs, and I've been watching a ton of streams of it all day. I'm glad everyone's really playing it, embracing it. I agree. I'm a little upset. I'm a Gao player. His hit points went from 950 to 900. I mean, he's a demon, but they totally buffed his air throws, which were fantastic. And I'm just happy now that it's actually worth throwing people in the game, because before you had to be nose to nose in order to throw someone in that game, and now there's an actual nice startup frame of throws. So I think it's going to be great. Really, guys, at the FGC, we stressed this earlier in the rushdown, guys, really give this game a shot, really embrace it. You may never know, this could be one of the better games that's been out, and they finally realized the problems that they needed to fix, and they fixed them. And actually, people will use Pandora. Yeah. Because I never touched Pandora before in my life, unless I hit it by accident. Yes. So I'm excited to see the tech that develops. I mean, there's a dedicated cross-tech community, guys like Jibbo or Ryan Hunter, that always made the game look amazing. So to see what they bring out in this refined version of the game, I can't wait. Just being online, you know, reading Facebook, Twitter, there's so much buzz now. I'm excited about Cross Tekken again. It feels like the day when the game came out. Yeah. But even better. Hint, hint, Battle Circuit, aka Big 2. Guys, please, maybe this week host a Street Fighter Cross Tekken mini exhibition. Yeah, absolutely. Get the people out there. Definitely. So, speaking of Twitter and the internet and buzz, it's actually going to bring us to another new segment, and that is the FGC Tweet of the Week. Tweet of the Week. Is what it sounds like. You just scour the internet. There's always great fighting game discussions online, funny stuff, serious stuff, drama. We love it all. Yep. So here are some of our favorite tweets from the week. First tweet's from Giunu, who's actually a pretty well-known American player living in Japan. He always has a lot of funny things to say. He always kind of trolls the community. So today he said, "My favorite thing about counterpicking is watching someone lose a close match with their main, counterpick next game, get destroyed. Hashtag FGC." That's so true. It's very true. It's so true. If you watch AE, I think the problem with AE, because of the balance of the game, people think that they need to switch to higher tier characters, and sometimes it just doesn't work for them at all. No, so, not at all. unless you're infiltration, you decide to go with Hakan just for the fuck of it. Oh yeah, unless you're, the Korean god of Street Fighter, it doesn't apply to you. So stick with your character, trust me. And the second tweet of the week is from Jared Wong, and this actually involves Street Fighter X Tekken, and he wrote, "Yo, hashtag SFXT version 23 patches out. Hype. I have to agree.
I have to agree.
He said it best. That's my feelings exactly.
He was so hyped that the last exclamation point came out as a 1.
He couldn't wait.
He couldn't
even keep his finger on the keyboard, right?
He was like, I have no time to hit the shift key on this keyboard. I need to play this game.
That's how I feel right now. That's immediately what we're going to be doing. Our final tweet of the week comes from Bananakin, and it's absolutely my favorite. He says, "Good lord, I saw the DLC store for Cross Tekken say for the first time. They should have an achievement for buying all the DLC." Absolutely agree. I
agree. I think the gem packs are already up to like 24. Like
yeah.
Gem pack 24.
I mean, the good thing about Cross Tekken DLC, aside from the characters, none of it, in my opinion, is very crucial. But it is kind of hilarious when you look at the store and you look at the crazy amount of crap that you can buy.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about with the gem packs, you know, you have to buy them, is if the game gets really big now in the FGC and they start using it in tournaments. People who play at home, I would recommend maybe just using the gems that came with the game, standard basic, and don't buy all those gem packs and then have a specific skill set, and then when you go to a tournament, they might not have your gems readily available.
I agree, and actually, there was actually an issue with that at Street Fighter 25th anniversary tournament, because Alioun had to play without a gem that he was used to using at home, and that kind of messed him up a little bit. So definitely, I'd say for training purposes, until there's a better solution, just use the default gems.
Yeah, definitely, guys. And that pretty much wraps up the FGC Tweet of the Week.
Yes, and we hope you guys enjoyed that. If you want to be featured as a Tweet of the Week, you could just say something awesome, we might find you, but you can also hashtag your tweet with hashtag FYR, and you will be featured on the show.
Yeah, so say something cool, say something fun, or just don't say anything at all. Just write hashtag FYR and we'll still post you.
You'll make it. So if you want to be internet famous, if you want to reach our subscriber base, there's your way in.
Yep. If you don't want to be the FGC Tweet of the Week, we also have another segment where we actually go over the Player of the Week.
Yep.
Player of the Week.
Okay, so this week's Player of the Week is no stranger to any fighting game fan.
Nope.
Justin Wong. You know, there wasn't, aside from the Brazil tournament, there wasn't any major tournament action this weekend, but there was bar fights, which Gutex thankfully has brought back.
Yes.
But much to the delight of fans everywhere. And he defeated Fnatic in a really entertaining exhibition set, and it was just great to see him win. You know, obviously everyone knows Justin Wong's one of the best, but to see him win with his classic Wolverine, Storm, Akuma team, the fact that he still makes it work so well, and he just plays so solid. Yeah, he was the standout player of the week.
Yeah, shout out to Justin. I mean, he had a really high and low 2012. I thought he was going to win at least one of the games at the Street Fighter 25th finals. And you know, we all know how that went with Infiltration taking 2 out of the 4. At least now he got bar fights under his belt, and hopefully he's a little more driven this year. Maybe place high in Evo, maybe even win Evo Ultimate Marvel. And if Fighting in Magic is there, maybe he could win top place in Fighting in Magic.
The best little pony
in
America. So while we're talking Jay Wong, that same night after he beat Fnatic, he said he's really focused on winning Marvel at Winter Brawl.
That's exciting because we're definitely actually going to Winter Brawl this year. And if you guys don't know what Winter Brawl is, it's one of the many tournaments that Big E holds in Philadelphia for the FGC. And this time it's in a new venue, the same venue that he held NEC 13.
Yep. So Winter Brawl, if you're anywhere near the Tri-State area, even if you're not, if you're on the East Coast, definitely find a way to Philly. I believe it's the weekend of February 23rd.
Yes.
You can still register online, I think, until February 16th.
Correct.
Definitely act fast because the hotels are probably almost gone.
Yep.
And I think that about does it for this season premiere.
According to the sheet between us, yeah, that is.
According to our script, season 3, episode 1 is a wrap. Definitely, thank you guys so much for watching. It feels great to be back.
Yeah.
I really miss sitting on this couch. I know you do it all the time.
Yeah. Same shit every day.
But as always, if you liked the episode, if you hated it, please leave us feedback. We're always listening. Definitely hit us up on Twitter. You'll be one of our tweets of the week.
Yep.
And as always,
I'm Natal.
I'm Mike.
And remember, guys,
keep fighting.
Keep fighting.